I am from Portugal, the city of Porto. My favorite thing about Portugal is the way we treat people. We are very welcoming. As my grandmother used to say, there's always a plate of food and a door open to someone that visits us, and we must make sure that we show how beautiful everything is in our country. I used to work at a study center. I'm a math teacher, and now that I have this opportunity to dedicate my time to Shadowverse, I am doing it full-time, yes. I have to push myself as hard as I can, so I just decided to take that full step. So I always a competitive player. I used to play Hearthstone, I used to play League of Legends, all these competitive games. And when I was playing Hearthstone and I was watching some streamers, I saw them showing this new game called Shadowverse. And that's when I started enjoying the evolve mechanic. Got me really attracted to it. And I started experimenting and started to like it a lot more. And then I became competitive as always. And I just joined some tournaments and I started to get success, and that just got the hook on it, and I just won some European champions, some sets, and then the World Grand Prix at Japan I got second place. I was getting successful the more I played, so I just kept going. I am a fan of football. Football has been growing for the last 100 years, but the explosive esports in the last 10 years. I was not a viewer of esports, and now I have it in the palm of my hand. I just have access to anything I want, any game, and that's something regular sports we don't have at the moment. So I think that is an amazing opportunity, and it just has a lot to gain. I didn't know a lot about Panda, even though I am a fan and a viewer of fighting games. I just didn't read their names. My biggest models for Pokemon was actually a Panda Global player, and I watched them play in a lot of world championships, so I was very happy. I saw Evo, I was excited. I am a fan of football. I always root for a team in football, and I had the same feeling. I was rooting for my teammates, and whenever they were successful, I was just vibrating with them. And they had team kills. I felt their sadness and the way that it developed. In my spare time, as I mentioned before, I like to watch football. It's actually an activity I do with my father. That's when I use my time to hang out with him, because streaming Shadowverse, practicing Shadowverse, hanging out with your team, traveling doesn't give you a lot of time to be with your family, so I watch a lot of football. Outside of that, I just spend time watching tournaments, watching esports. Big fan of anything that's competitive. Any kind of game. I would say that our community is very welcoming, kind of like the image of my country. We accept anyone that is remotely interested in Shadowverse, even if it's only the art. We have people in the community that do specifically art. You can talk to them if you're interested in doing art. If you're interested in playing competitive, talk to us. We might be the strongest players in the world, but we love to teach. We love to teach you the game. We love to play the game with you. And you have the opportunity to be next to us, to see us play on locale. Not only that, in these events, you have access to every single card in the collection. You don't need to give the excuse of not having enough vials or not having enough packs. You just have access to every card. You can build any deck you want. If it's fun for you or not, just try it out and learn with people that have the experience, and we're always open. We won't say no. Shadowverse has a bright future ahead. I think it's a very new game, a very recent game. I think that we are getting explosive growth at the game. We are seeing more and more teams step up and join the fray. And I think the World Grand Prix is such an exciting event that I think the future holds thousands of viewers. I think there will be interesting, insane matchups. I want to see Shadowverse be at the level of a game that has 20 years or 30 years, where we will be celebrating that anniversary and we'll have all these memories of all these fantastic cards. My ultimate goal is to every day try to be better than I was the last day, and what that means is to play against the best player in the world at the moment. That's always what I want to achieve. If it's a Japanese player, I want to play him today. If all of a sudden it changes and it's an American player, I want to play him tomorrow. I just want to play against the best every single day of the week.